The Walking Dead is back. 6 months on from that awful cliffhanger, the new big bad Negan returned to our screens to deliver not one, but 2 fatal blows from his trusty Bat Lucille to Rick's crew, in what was possibly the most messed up and gory episode to date. Unfortunately, whilst the deaths made for wonderfully gruesome and gut-wrenching viewing, I feel that on a whole, the episode suffered from similar problems that plagued the entirety of last season. I don't know what, if anything, happened behind the scenes in the gap between Season 5 and Season 6, but since then the pacing and direction of many of the episodes have felt strangely off somewhat, and sadly the same applies to the Season 7 premiere. In what has now become typical Walking Dead fashion, the episode wasn't shown in chronological order. Instead, the episode begins after the Lucille victims are killed. It then jumps forward to Negan and Rick in the camper van, before flashing back to Negan killing Abraham and Glenn, after which we move forward to Negan and Rick in the present. This method of filming and editing does nothing to enhance the show. It's disorientating, awkward, and actually dampens the effects of the deaths. It's clear that the only reason the episode was put together in this way was to keep people guessing about the potential victims, as if we hadn't already waited long enough. I would have much rather see Abraham and Glenn get skull bashed, then witness the fallout and Rick and Negan's little camper van trip in a more linear fashion than what was presented. But hey, I suppose at least we didn't get another cliffhanger. The deaths themselves were pretty disgusting, and I have to give credit to AMC and the producers for not wimping out on showing the full extent of gore and brutality that comes from being repeatedly whacked in the head with a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire. Abraham was first up. He took the beating like a man, kneeling proud without giving Negan the satisfaction of begging or pleading in his last moments. He also produced another classic Abraham line as he tells Negan to suck his nuts before hitting the deck for good. Glenn Rhee, Negan's comic book victim, also got his iconic death, after Daryl stupidly lashed out at Negan as he taunted Rosita about her now deceased ex-partner. Glenn's death was as cruel as it is on the pages of Walking Dead number 100, seeing his eye practically hanging out of his head and him trying to reassure Maggie in his last moments was extremely hard to watch. However, I do feel as though his death slightly overshadowed Abraham's due to the shock factor of Negan picking a second victim and the sheer vile horrific imagery of the scene, which is a shame as I really enjoyed Abraham's character and feel as though he deserved his own moment in the spotlight. Although as mentioned both deaths made for nasty and uncomfortable viewing, the shadow of the Season 6 cliffhanger caused them not to be quite as poignant as they should have. When I first witnessed Glenn's death in the comics, it truly did come out of nowhere. I remember being overcome with an innate sense of shock at what was unfolding in front of me. The TV version, however, was something that I had not only expected, but also discussed and speculated a great deal since last season ended. It didn't make watching it happen any more pleasant, but for me the whole buzz around who did Negan kill that has gone on since last summer definitely cheapened its impact. In terms of story progression, not a lot else happened, but I do have to give a special mention to both Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Andrew Lincoln, as both of their performances were superb. Jeffrey Dean is just incredible to watch. Despite how much I currently hate Negan, I just want to see more of him. He oozes charisma and it's incredible to see how calm he is despite all the madness that is taking place around him. Andrew Lincoln, on the other hand, did a fantastic job of making Rick seem genuinely petrified and out of his depth. Rick had become annoyingly cocky before Negan's arrival, so it was fascinating to see him in a state of panic, his attitude taken down a notch or 10, and I look forward to see how his and Negan's relationship develops over the course of the entire season. Despite these stellar performances, the day will come where you won't be, like most of last season, was a bit hit and miss. It finally delivered on the delayed killings and made Negan the most hated fictional man on the planet, but at the same time it was shot in such a bizarre and now typical of The Walking Dead fashion that the whole episode just felt lacking and subpar, especially when compared to some of the previous Walking Dead season openers. I am excited to see what is to come in later episodes, but AMC need to stop focusing on cheap tricks, weird transitions and flashbacks, instead get back to what The Walking Dead is all about, the characters themselves.